good. All right, cool. So just continue before I before I cut off. We're gonna see like 4 value. We're gonna see like 4 videos for this class, but either way, yeah, when I type in here, nothing happens because this value is now controlled. The value that is controlled inside of it's controlled because we said the value of it is this, it's input value, but input value never changes. So what I'm gonna do is inside of this on change handler, it's here. Let me delete all of this stuff here. I'm gonna delete that. What I'm gonna say is set input value to e dot target dot value. Now, every time I type inside of the input box, it's going to actually track everything because now it's setting it equal to e dot target dot value. Therefore, it's controlling this input box by always resetting it every single time it does its own change event. Now, something nice that we can do is we can say, okay, if e dot target dot value equals, let's say we didn't want to have like any letter I's, right? We're going to say we're just going to return. We're not going to do anything. If it's the letter I, we're just going to return. I don't want to set it, and we're going to skip over this. I don't want to take any inputs with letter I. So if I type I on my keyboard, nothing happens because it always returns. But if I type any other letter, it's all good. But I is the only one. Hold on. Why is that working now? That is so odd. That is doing that. It's not supposed to do that.
Oh, that's because the value isn't exactly equal to I anymore. It's equal to JV.
Thank you. So includes I. There we go. So if it includes I, we're going to return. So changes refreshes. That's just not going to do it. So if I do this and I press I now, nothing happens because it includes I. Everything else works except for I. Now, how is this useful? We wanted to let's say I wanted to make this like a phone number input box. If I start typing my phone number, maybe I'll type letter A. I mean the number 8. What I would do to format this, it says, or let's say, okay, if this is a number, like I'll check to see if this is a number. If the first one is a number, what I want to do is put this thing here, this parentheses. And if I have 4 numbers in here, put another parentheses. Like it'll be some logic inside of that on change event to do all of this. And it'll even put a space here for you so you can start to format this phone number input box. So that'll be area code, obviously, but we're able to control what's inside of there, and we can update it to whatever we want depending on what we already have inside of the input box. So that's why you want to control it. And generally speaking, you always want to control your input boxes. That's just like a rule of thumb. Now, why you always want to control them, I don't have the answer on top of my head right now, but you can use it to your best judgment. And I think that is
actually, can we go back for a second? Why did the I show up when it was not supposed to?
Right. So before I was doing this, instead. So this says if e dot target dot value equals I. It'll look better if I cancel out what e dot target dot value is. So let me go to the console. Let me clear this out. All right, clear that out. I'm gonna type I, right? Now it equals I right now. So because it equals I, nothing happens. But if I type H, okay, now if I type I, it doesn't equal I anymore, it equals HI. And because it equals HI, or HII, whatever, it's not going to return anymore. We're strictly checking to see if it just equals just the one letter I.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and that's why I put includes. If it includes I, let's return.
I noticed that it keeps on refreshing your other events too, like the AB event. If you wanted to stop that, you will put the function outside of the component.
Let me see something. Let me refresh this. I did notice that it was doing something like that too. Let me check. So I do this, type F. Okay, line. So what's happening here is, so this is logging from down here. Every time we update the JSX for this input box, this whole thing gets re-rendered. Yeah, and in order to prevent that, what we do is we'll put this inside of a component. So so let me just put re-rendering JSX. Re-render JSX every single time I type this. But to avoid this, we can say, do this. Let's make another component. Say input. And this is why we're going to break up components too. This is just going to return. Take this on change handler. I'm gonna just put all of this stuff inside of here instead. And where's that input box? Here. Just gonna go in there. Put this here. Okay. So that's there. And I have to have this there as well. Okay, cool. Click, that's not the right one.
Crap, I missed the whole thing because my dang on internet died.
Okay.
Swan died off the top of the Golden Gate Bridge.
So basically, what I did was, okay, cool. So that's that. Let me delete something from here because it's going to give me an error. I'm just going to delete that real quick. All right, cool. So before, every time we type inside of the input box, shoot, let me do a control Z to go all the way back. And I'm trying not to. Okay, so rendering, right? This is how it was before. Type in here, it keeps re-rendering. We see the console log keep re-rendering. But to avoid that, I'm gonna put all that stuff back and just to avoid that, what we want to do is we want to put the input box inside of its own component. So if I do that, this is literally the exact same thing. I'm gonna put the input box here, the input component, I should say, right there. And every time this change, this is not going to re-render because this is its own component now. Let me show you. It shouldn't re-render anyway. Yeah, so nothing re-renders because that was its own component. We separated out the component. So this component basically holds its own state. Anytime this on change handler, anytime this input box sees an on change, it fires an on change handler. The on change handler sets the state of the component. And because the state of the component changed, this component is going to re-render. Every single time the state of a component changes, it re-renders the component. Before, that state was inside an app, and app kept re-rendering because the state inside an app was re-rendering. But now that we separated out the state into this input component, the state is inside of this component now. Now, every time the input box changes, it only changes the state inside of the input box, and app does not refresh.
Ah.
Yeah.
Oh man, I think so. You can have components with like 15 different functions in it.
Right.
And that's cool. That's like relatively normal because I was trying to do the JavaScript style where I was separating out my functions and putting them outside of my components and then using them within components. or like taking everything out of the oh my gosh.
Yeah,
I-
the way you was doing, you're saying like you was putting inside of the components folder.
Yeah, no. So I mean, I guess I could show you if you want to see it real quick when I was building the app, the prank app, but it was basically I had like a form outside of the function and I mean outside of the component. That was the list creator was outside. There was a few things that was like outside of cool.
So you can use it. Yeah, and that you were saying like why your thing wasn't updating or whatever.
Yeah.
It wasn't state. That's why. Yeah, and that's
My
what I was
gosh.
saying earlier. Yeah, but go ahead. You can share your screen so you can like show that example or whatever.
Yeah, I'm finna do that right now. Hold on, I
Yeah. So
gotta up.
basically Jay had something where like he was expecting the app to update. It was a condition, but the app was not updating, and the reason it wasn't updated was because the state wasn't changing. Anytime
My
you have React
gosh.
and something does not update, always think back, okay, did the state change? Yes or no? If the state changed, then it should update. If the state did not change, then it's not going to update. But go ahead.
Yeah, I'm already on it. So this is what I had, and gosh, I'm gonna make this screen a tad bit bigger. Yeah. So this is what I had. Just targets right here. I was trying to get it to where it will conditionally render this and it will automatically like change the picture. So I tried to pass in like a is angry type thing. I tried to define it globally at one point in time. So where this set state basically would every time this change, it will automatically change like a variable outside that was defined on a global scale. So like I said it like this. And then I came down here and was like, uh, yeah. But anyway, so did all that, did not work for me. Still compiling. And then why didn't it even open? Anyway,
Yeah. So
oh,
basically, Jay had scroll up really quick. Jay has this array of objects, and this array has this anger property in there. And
yeah,
whenever the value changes from like true or false to true, the JSX or the HTML was supposed to update, but on his side it was not updating, and the reason it
mm,
wasn't updating is because it's not part of the actual state. So in order to correct that, he had to use the use state React hook,
mm,
and then update it that way, and it
um,
updated like the set um, whatever you want to call it.
yeah. So I was using this to set out. So, but I would have to put the function inside so I could get access to this state.
You have to put that whole array inside of your that whole array. You have to make that you have to put that inside of the use state, and you can make that a default value. You can just literally drop that whole like array of objects inside of the parentheses as the default value. Um,
Wait. So
yeah,
you mean this
yeah. Surround that with parentheses. Yeah, surround that with parentheses real quick. And
parentheses?
delete.
Hold
Yeah,
on. And
right.
then
Um, yeah, parentheses. And in front of that, you can write use state. Right. So with targets, double click targets. Yeah, and then put the square bracket. Yeah, comma, and then set targets.
um,
Yeah. So now when you want to change one of those anger things, you do set targets and only change what you need to change in there. Now it's gonna get a little complicated because now you gotta use the spread operator to put all the other stuff in there, and it gets complicated with updating some individual thing inside of this array. But you would do it like that.
But then this is defined, so this is a global definition here. But every time I tried to use this, it said I couldn't do it. Like it said it has to be defined within a component.
Yeah, yeah, you
See?
gotta put that inside of the component, right? Put that
Right.
inside of the component that uses it.
Right. So this will go, actually, this will go, shoot, funny enough, this uses it.
Oh, two
And
things use it. Okay. Yeah.
which is
Okay.
why I defined it out here, because this won't necessarily change. So
Yeah. Yes.
the
With this, we will have to we'll learn about this actually what's called on Tuesday. Because we'll have to introduce the use context hook. There's another hook where more than one component can access the same state.
yeah, yeah. And I think yeah, I think I kind of get it. Anyway, so that was that, you know.
Cool. All right, so that is we went over which is fine. Any questions? If not, I'll see everyone on Tuesday and on Tuesday and actually before I let you go, so I'm gonna pick a few more links like let me see I'll give y'all some links on Tuesday actually. So right now y'all can think about, like if one of y'all want to present on Sunday, you can just DM me or whatever. And on Tuesday, I'm gonna give you some links that you study from to present or whatever. So whatever we don't go over on Tuesday, I'm gonna basically gonna leave off. We're gonna leave off wherever I left off or wherever I leave off on Tuesday, basically. That's how we're gonna do it. But yeah, any questions with the stuff we went over today?
Nope, got it.
All right, cool. Let me